First down call. Motion by Farrell and the run by Mitchell. Ad-libs outside, comes back inside and got a couple.
Mitchell, the ball carrier.
He started inside, nothing there. Went to go wide and couldn't get out. He picked up 3. Billy Ray Smith tackled him. They have 2 good outside linebackers on this Charger team now.
Well, I think that's what the good teams in football are now doing, Jack. You know, they try to get 2 guys on the outside. The Giants have Taylor, and they have, you know, kid from Michigan State with the Carl Banks on the other side. Patriots, they get Tippett and Blackman. They try to get 2 guys because in modern football in the last 10 years, the outside linebackers have become the pass rushers rather than the defensive ends.
1 minute left in the quarter. 2nd and 8. Lomax dumps it off to Farrell. And strong tackling. And a gain of about a yard. There was Martin Bayless helped out by Chip Banks. Now Farrell might have been able to move Bayless, but not Banks, is a 236-pounder. So 3rd and long, St. Louis. They send in Don Holmes. 3rd and 7. 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Very, very important here, Jack. You know, the St. Louis, to their credit, has been patient. They don't want to go back and look for the long ball because in the first half when they did, there was pass rush from the Chargers could get to them. They're taking the shot drops. They've been throwing the hooks underneath, just trying to get first downs and not try to make the spectacular play. But they need one right here.
Here's a 3rd down play. Lomax throws it outside and incomplete to Green. And he was covered by Gilbert, and he almost threw that ball away because of the heavy coverage with only 6 seconds left in the half, and the Cardinals are going to try a field goal. Well, they had a first down at the 24, and that's where it ground to a halt. That's the kicker, Jim Gallery, coming in. He's from Minnesota. He's missed 2 today. 30 yards, 42 yards, and Stout will hold. This will be a 38-yard try. Jim Gallery. And he finally made one. That changes the scoreboard 28-10 with only 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So the Cardinals, who didn't score until the 3rd quarter, have scored 10 points in this period.
Most bottled beers have to take the heat of pasteurization. And this can change their real taste. But there's one kind of beer that's not heat pasteurized, draft beer. And now there's real draft beer in bottles. Miller Genuine Draft. It's not heat pasteurized. It's cold filtered, so it retains all of its rich, smooth, real taste. Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Nationwide, people are rushing to Yugo's spectacular 100,000 countdown celebration.
We knew this was our last chance to buy Yugo at $39.90.
And with this great deal,
we saved even more.
Hurry, it's for a limited time only. These prices and deals won't last.
I want my Serta.
Here's why people want their Serta. Only Serta goes beyond just being firm. We top our support with the extra comfortable Serta service. A unique difference you can feel in a Serta Perfect Sleeper.
No better value?
Right. You get the newest 386 technology in our Tandy 4000 at an incredible price.
386 technology?
Yes, it's faster, more powerful, and it runs today's MS-DOS and tomorrow's OS2 software.
What about desktop publishing?
It's easy. With our laser printer, the Tandy 4000 gives you professional results every time.
I see. Better value.
Tandy Computers, because there is no better value. Only at Radio Shack Computer Centers.
With 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, Jim Gallery will kick off. He just thumped a 38-yard field goal to make it 28-10. So this one isn't over yet. And the deepest man is Curtis Adams. And Gary Anderson is back there in the same area. Cardinals have been burned once on a kick return. This is high and deep, and Adams from 2 yards deep comes out to the 10 and across the 20-yard line. That marks the end of the third quarter. The ball will be at the San Diego 23. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 28-10 Chargers. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. Tandy Computers, because there is no better value, only at Radio Shack. And by the Energizer Battery, good times never lasted longer.
Chargers put the ball back into play at their 23-yard line. First down, 15 minutes left in this game, and the big running back Spencer is stuffed after getting a couple. San Diego's kind of in the middle now, Will McDonough. They don't know whether to open it up and take a chance of a turnover. They've had two lately, or
just keep sitting on it and hope they can sit on the clock. I think Fouts' instinct would be to go for it. Let's get another one. Let's make it 35. Let's slow these guys down. But I think he wants to wait to season opening. I don't think he's going to try to do anything where he presses to get a big play.
James is to the right and Chandler to the left side. And here's Fouts rolling to throw and pressured, and he throws, and Spencer caught it. Tackled after gaining only a yard or two. Cedric Mack was the first one there. And he got help from the linebacker, Anthony Bell. And it was Rod Sadler putting some pressure on. No gain. Sadler, number 72 for St. Louis, is a rookie out of Texas A&M, and he put some pressure on the quarterback for one of the few times today.
Well, the anguish on Fouts' face is because they had a double screen set up, and I think he wanted to go to the other side with it, but somehow I think Kellen Winslow and he weren't on the same page. There was a lack of communication.
Here's a third down play, and there is Fouts all alone throwing out here. It's a first down to Lionel James. James really helped him out by coming back to the ball.
Certainly did, and Fouts helped himself out by looking at every possibility he had, Jack. He looked, and this is where the failure for St. Louis has been in this game.
Third and 7, you'd think they'd be after.
7, you got to get some pressure. There was no pressure. And Fouts isn't the kind of guy that can get out of the pocket. You know, he has no mobility whatsoever.
Jim Lachey, James Fitzpatrick, Don Masick, Dennis McKnight, and Gary Kowalski held the Cardinals at bay, and it's at the 39 of San Diego. Now the big third down play meant a lot to the Cardinals. And a toss to Anderson. He'd been on the bench for a while. He has some fresh legs, and he picked up a few yards.
Every time Anderson touches it, you get the feeling that at any moment it could go all the way. Here's a kid you got to give all the credit in the world to, Jack. He came out of Arkansas, signed with 2 teams, Tampa Bay and the USFL, over here with the Chargers, ended up in court. His wife testified in court that the reason he signed the 2 contracts is he really couldn't read or write. So when the Chargers got him, they say, hey, what have we got here? But he's come out here, learned the plays at all these different positions, and has really been terrific.
He just got 4, and it's 2nd and 6, and here he comes again. And he was tackled, and a very good tackle was made by Rod Sadler. And now for a report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Jack, a little bit up the coast to Los Angeles.
The ball is at the 45, and it's 3rd and 4 for San Diego. Another big third down play. They just completed a 3rd and 7. Here's a fumble, and now they'll have to punt the ball. And it was Fouts mishandling the snap from center, and San Diego is inviting the Cardinals back into this game.
That's the perfect term for an inviting. I mean, they have set the table for him here in the second half. They keep laying all these goodies on and say, hey, here's a chance, here's a bobble, here's a drop, here's an interception. But St. Louis got to start scoring touchdowns. Field goals aren't going to be enough with this amount of time left to play.
Mojinko is back to punt as Fouts is upset. This is the 4th punt of the day coming up from the Chargers. And Sikahema is inside his 15. What a booming kick. He should let it go, and the Cardinals see it go into the end zone. Will come out to the 20-yard line. St. Louis trailing by 18 points. That was a 56-yard punt. Cardinals are at their 20.
What's the longest lasting battery you can buy? I'm gonna surprise ya! New Energizer! Sound surpriser! New Energizer! Oi! You topped the test! New Energizer was best! Lasted longer than all the rest! Too right! New Energizer! New Energizer! It'll surprise ya! It'll surprise ya!
Laboratory tests prove in most devices, Energizer lasts longer than any other battery. New Energizer. Aye.
Listen to the heartbeat.
It's the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade. The advanced new Chevy with more cab room than Ford, plus a brand new extended cab.
Rough, tough working stuff. Feel the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevy truck.
Take the test drive of the decade in the new full-size Chevy.
The heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevy truck.
This NFL game summary is sponsored by Seagram's Coolers. This is where the fun starts.
First time San Diego touched the ball, Lionel James ran 81 yards with a punt return for a score. And one of the big plays for the Cardinals was a touchdown pass to Roy Green, his third of the year. Good for 8 yards, and Lomax has been throwing. Fouts is 10 out of 15, but lately, Will McDonough, it's been a fumbled snap, a fumble, and an interception for the working for the Cardinals. They were trailing 28-0. It's 28-10, and they're still in it.
The Chargers, after playing really a perfect first half where they didn't make a mistake, have all of a sudden had the lead and be jittery.
Okay, here's the touchdown pass to Roy Green from Lomax. And now we go back to live play at the 20-yard line, and a first down pass over the middle in the slot to Novacek. First down beyond the 40-yard line. So Novacek today has caught 4 in the last couple of years. The tight end has been almost a non-existent part of the Cardinal passing offense. He's caught 4 for 50 yards. This fellow is quite an athlete, by the way. He's a decathlon man.
Decathlon guy. They invited him back to try out for the team, I guess. But can he, as a pro football player, take a shot at going to career in '88?
Ball is at the 45. Danny Walters is out of the lineup on the corner for San Diego, and Daniel Hunter is playing there. And the running play against the blitz, and it's good for only a couple of yards. Sometimes you can blitz and effectively stop the run as well as the pass.
Particularly since St. Louis doesn't have great speed with its running backs. I mean, an Anderson type of guy can get up, bump into a hole, or a Tony Dorsett, break it outside and keep on going. St. Louis doesn't have that type of a back.
Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark left in the game. The Cardinals trailing by 18. They have to score almost every time they get the ball now. They start Farrell in motion. Lomax hits his man J.T. Smith for a first down. So he's nailing everybody, and Lomax is going to have a sore arm in the morning. That was an 18-yard pickup.
We should remember Dallas last week. I mean, they looked like they were dead in that game, down 13-3. A handful of minutes left to play in the game, and they put 3 touchdowns in the end zone. And they have that capability. When Lomax has the time and Green is on the field, they have that capability. And I'm telling you right now, the Chargers are starting to feel it.
Ball at the 36. You can hear the crowd getting into it. They want to stop the Big Red, as the Cardinals are called. Motion by Robbins. That'll cost him 5. The right tackle, Tootie Robbins, draws the penalty.
Number 63, 5 yards.
That's what happens to you also when you get that defense pushing you back. You anticipate that snap count and move too quickly. That makes it 1st and 15. At the San Diego 41. 9 minutes left in the game. The blitz is on. Lomax got rid of it. The defender fell down, and J.T. Smith is very close to a first down. Gilbert was covering. So Lomax beat the blitz that time.
Well, what a wonderful job he did, because, you know, the linebacker came, nobody even touched him, and yet he turned around and he saw J.T. Smith out there, and before the linebacker could get him, boom. Watch the linebacker come from the outside. Lomax sees him coming. Luckily, he dumps the ball as quickly as he can and gets it outside. There's J.T. Smith, and the defensive back, Bird, falls down on the play. But it didn't make any difference. Smith had already backed him off, so he couldn't make the interception.
It's the first down. Mitchell trying to get outside, turns upfield, and he's whacked after getting a few. And that'll take us to the 8-minute mark. Gary Plummer, number 50, made the tackle. Earlier, the linebacker trying to get in there was Thomas Benson, who just missed Lomax. And it was Mitchell that time for 5 yards. Now the clock is killing the Cardinals. They trail by 18. Even with an injury to the cornerback, Danny Walters, Lou Brock Jr. has not seen any action from scrimmage today. We'll show you a picture of Lou when we get a chance. 2nd and 5. Pick up the blitz. A good pickup by Farrell and a touchdown to Novacek. Is it? Yes. Novacek with a touchdown. I think that's his first ever as a pro. Earl Farrell did a great job picking up the blitz.
You saw it. That was it, Jack. He picked up the linebacker and he stuffed him. In fact, they brought 2 linebackers. They both got stuffed. And like we've been saying, that gave Lomax the time. He sat right in there, let Novacek split the seam in the zones and got him right in the right place. And they can do that. I think if this game started now, you'd have to like the Cardinals, but do they have enough time? They're going to fight the clock because they've shown here in the second half they can move the football.
And they'll still be 11 points behind if they get the extra point by Jim Gallery. Stout holding, gets it down. The kick is good. It's 28-17. Remember, St. Louis missed 2 field goals earlier in this game of 30 and 42 yards, and it's haunting them now.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Built from little more than desert sun and desert air. Where city leaders use computers to connect every department of city government. Computers from Unisys. Unisys helps Scottsdale's leaders meet growing demand so efficiently that over the last 6 years, property taxes have actually gone down. Unisys and government, the power of 2.
I know it's real. No other reason for the way I feel. Oh yeah, it's as real as it gets. It feels good, so right.
The best things are the real things, and draft beer is the real beer. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade. The advanced new Chevy with a heavier frame and more standard half-ton power than Ford.
Rough, tough, working stuff. Feel the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevy truck.
Take the test drive of the decade in the new full-size Chevy.
The heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevy truck.
5th-ranked Ohio State and their Heisman hopeful Chris Spielman collide with 4th-ranked LSU. 2 national powers next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Here's the touchdown pass. Lomax comes away from the center, sees the blitz. Watch Farrell step up to take the outside linebacker. Novacek gets in behind the inside linebacker, Plummer, who just can't match up to him when it comes with speed, Jack.
And that's the first pro touchdown for Novacek. His first ever. Now here's the kickoff from Gallery. And it's going to be returned by Gary Anderson from the 1-yard line. This guy's a big threat. They slow him down and knock him down. Shy of the 20 and a fumble. And the Cardinals think they have the ball. Anderson fumbled it. It has not been indicated yet that the Cardinals have it. The officials have not indicated.
That's going to a replay, Jack. I guarantee it.
Before they make any call. Offside, St. Louis.
Well, don't need it.
Actually, the Cardinals did. Troy Johnson recovered that ball, but the flag on the kickoff offside negates all of that.
Well, let's see the replay. I thought from naked eye that he was down, that he was on his back, and when his left elbow hit the ground, it popped out, but maybe I'm wrong. Here he is spinning around. Let's see if we can see it. No, he was still up.
It would have been
He's
a
still
fumble.
up. It would have been a fumble because he wasn't down on the ground.
Well, that's a murderous.
Let's look at it again. Now he's carrying it to the outside. They're trying to take the ball. They're trying to strip the ball. Now he's. See, there it would have been tougher to see it, Jack. That's the great thing about having a lot of different angles. You got to have, say, was his backside on the ground before the ball came out?
That was a murderous offside call against the Cardinals on the kickoff. And Stallings' blood pressure rises on that one. 7:13 remaining in the game, and now the kickoff will come from the 30. There's always a half a chance of an onside
That's
kick.
what I was just going to ask you. Would you go to an onside kick? The last 3 kickoffs, okay, San Diego's lined up for in this half because of the lopsided score, okay, they have put this, what you'd call your skilled people out on the field in the wedge. Their ball handlers, they got 4 receivers out there looking for the onside kick. As a result, when they kick deep, whether it's an Anderson or Lionel James, they don't have the usual blockers in front of them to make a return because they've taken the linemen off the field. They got all their receivers and backs, which they have out there right now, looking for the onside kick.
Yeah, they've got 5 men up front. Here is Gallery to kick it. And there's Lionel James. He is deepest, standing at his 5. You saw Al Saunders preaching along the sideline a while ago. This kick is going to be returned by James from the 10. 15-20 and near the 30-yard line with 7:03 left in the game. Cardinals are trailing by 11. They've got to get the ball back, and Fouts will try to knock off a lot of that time. And mark it down at the San Diego 31. Let's check the approach of this Charger club. They really are in very good shape, leading by 11. They don't have to panic into anything. They stay on the ground to Spencer, and he is out near the 35-yard line. He was tackled by Rod Sadler and Travis Curtis. 5-yard pickup.
Tackled by number 55, Anthony Bell.
53,000 were on hand at the start, and most of them have stayed around, even though San Diego had an early 28-0 lead. Cardinals didn't score until the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 5 for the Chargers, and they'll take most of that 30-second clock before they snap the ball. Spencer again. Being from Ohio State, he is used to that ball control. The crowd doesn't like the conservative approach of the Chargers, but to do anything else would be crazy.
Well, the San Diego crowd isn't used to sitting on the ball. They used to air Coryell. They'd say, hey, we don't care what the score is, we're going to throw it.
Where is Coryell, by the way, as we look at some of these scores? Minnesota hanging on by 7 in the 4th quarter at Los Angeles, and the Raiders with a narrow 6-point lead in the 4th quarter over Detroit. Seattle moving out against Kansas City 40-7 in the 4th quarter, and the Giants by 1 in the 4th quarter over Dallas. They've got a game. Here it's 3rd and 1, and the pass play caught by James. 1st down. Where is Don Coryell, Will, as far as you know?
Well, when he gave it up here last year, actually they fired him at the midway point of the season, and they brought in Al Saunders. He said what he was going to do. He's got a cabin up here in the mountains in California. All of his life he's sort of been like a naturalist. He studied about the California mountains, and that's where he's going to go with his wife, back and forth.
The Pirates beat the Mets in 14 innings, 9-8.
I know you're really sad about that, Jack.
Yeah, so the Cardinals lead the Mets by 2.5, and Montreal lost. They're 3 out. This is the 1st down at the 43 for the Chargers, and Anderson moves across the 45. They're alternating the backs to keep them fresh in there for San Diego with Spencer and Anderson, and sometimes they line up James in the backfield, and they take out the tight end Sievers, and they put in Holohan, keeping fresh people in there.
You know, it's a blessing to have a great player like Anderson, but in these situations, when you get guys that like to go for the score all the time, like the Dickersons and the Dorsett, they're also the fumblers because they won't give up. They're used to going for the goal line on every play.
2nd and 6 at the 47. Anderson, and not much that time. 4.5 minutes remaining. When they got the ball, we had 7:03 left. Now we're down to 4:25, and there's the bench. Lou Brock is number 38, Lou Brock Jr. The problem with him is that young Lou got down to 159 pounds, and you can't play at that weight. Here are the baseball finals. Cardinals over the Cubs 10-2. Pirates over the Mets 9-8, 14 innings. Phillies beat Montreal 4-1. Third down here and a long 3. No pressure on Fouts, and no pressure. Finally he throws, and incomplete. The man had sneaked back there all by himself, and Fouts finally saw him. Lionel James at 5'7", trying to get up in the air to catch it, but he couldn't. It's 4th down, and the Cardinals will get the ball.
And he doesn't want to go back and look at Dan Fouts because he committed a cardinal sin.
He planted himself, didn't he?
He committed a cardinal sin. He was breaking for the open. He was in stride, and it was like a tag rush game. Like he said, I'm going to stop, and they'll throw it to me right here. Fouts anticipated that he was going to keep on running, and that's why he's upset.
Here's the fifth punt of the day by Moshenko. Back to get it is Vysikahema. And he'll let this one go, and he might not get the bounce he wants, but he did. It'll come out to the 20-yard line with 3:42 remaining in the game. So that punt was 50 yards to the St. Louis 20 with 3:41 left in the game.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be all you can be. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. When the Minnesota Vikings selected Darren Nelson as the 7th pick of the 1982 draft, eyebrows were raised. But the diminutive running back has relied on a variety of talents to star in the Vikings' wide-open offense. Standing just 5 feet 9 inches tall, Nelson has made a big impression on opposing defenses, using his skills as both a runner and a pass receiver to be the best he can be.
Light fighters, the new light infantry. No matter where you are, in the jungle, the Arctic, the desert, or the mountains, you run out of day before you run out of challenge.
You know, all this talk about building your confidence might sound like a lot of hype. Let me tell you, hype doesn't get you to the top of this rock.
Be all that you can be.
Hey, Gal.
What?
The elevator's here.
Find your future in the Army.
3:41 left in the game. We might have a bristling finish here, Will McDonough, but that kickoff and the fumble and the offside on the kickoff was a killer for the Cardinals.
The killer for the Cardinals all day has been mistakes. If they didn't make the both mental and physical errors, they'd be right in this ball game. They'd probably be ahead in this ball game. But I think what the Cardinals are facing right now is they're not only trying to make up the points, but they're trying to fight the clock.
And next Saturday, CBS presents Ohio State and LSU. Ohio is number 5 and LSU is number 4. They both won handily yesterday. Both showed very good running games. Vince Workman of Ohio State, Harvey Williams of LSU, and you'll see them matched up starting at 2:30 Eastern next Saturday on CBS. Cardinals have the ball at the 20 and have to move quickly downfield. Danny Walters is back in there at the right corner spot for the home club. A little wobbler out here is caught by Holmes for about 9 yards, and the Cardinals into a hurry-up offense with Gil Bird making the tackle. He just lofted that ball out there, and you can watch the clock.
Well, the Cardinals are slotting left with their 2 best receivers, and they're leaving Holmes over here, so he's getting the man-to-man coverage, and Lomax knows it.
Lomax had it batted down, and there's a hit by Mike Charles, the nose tackle, and it brought a flag roughing the passer, and a major penalty will be marked off.
Well, let's see if that's the one-step rule. You know that this is the year where, hey, once Lomax lets it go and it's out of his hand, you can't take more than 1 step and drill him. And he did drill him, Jack. He just toppled him right over.
So the nose tackle, Mike Charles, who weighs 290 pounds, unloaded on Lomax and drew the flag from Jim Tunney, the referee.
No levitation dance on that one. Remember, that was his routine when he was in Miami. He did a levitation dance. Shula drove Shula nuts because he doesn't like that type of thing.
The Cardinals now have the ball at their own 45 of the first down. Ruther is the center. Drops it short to Mitchell, and fighting to get out of bounds. He does stop the clock with 3:02 left with Daniel Hunter, the defender. There's Lewis Brock. It's a shame his weight fell as much as it did. They still say he has a chance to play in the league.
Well, he's going to have to get a lot bigger. You know, the problem with a guy that weighs 158 pounds, there's nowhere to hide him, Jack. You can't even bring him in as a nickelback, because if they run a running play in there, he'd have to come up and support the run, and he's just not big enough at 158 pounds to support the run.
7-yard pass to Stump Mitchell. 2nd down and 3. And incomplete. Novacek came back and tried to help out. How Lomax got out of there, I don't know. Mike Charles was in there again, number 71. And Lomax just wriggled out of that one.
Yeah, and watch Mike Charles will debate here after the play's over. He'll turn to Tunney and say, hey, listen, he's in the grasp. I had him. Well, it's really not in the grasp. It's in control of. And Tunney's going to come back and tell him when they debated after him, you didn't control him. He was still spinning. He had a chance to get away from it.
Now the Cardinals are faced with a long 2 on 3rd down. 2:55 left in the game. Cardinals trailing by 11. Williams is after Lomax. Lomax could have run for a 1st down. He passes to Novacek for a 1st down. Boy, the Cardinal tight end offense, and the Cardinals called timeout, is vastly different this year than it was a year ago. So the pass to Novacek gives the Cardinals possession again. A 19-yard pickup, 2:45 remaining. And both teams are pooped out there right now, and it kind of looks like the Charger defense has run out of gas a little bit.
Tell you who's done a marvelous job here today for St. Louis, and I don't think we mentioned today, is Tootie Robbins. I mean, Lee Williams, number 99 for the Chargers, is one of the best pass rushers in pro football. He was 2nd last year in the AFC in sacks, only behind Sean Jones. And he hasn't really nearly got close to Lomax today. Tootie's been out there, and particularly in this drive, he's just handled Williams one-on-one, and that is tough to do because he's the premier pass rusher.
Ball rests at the San Diego 28. Cardinals have 2 timeouts remaining and 2:45 to do something about this deficit. Being out here on the West Coast, we have some games still going. Minnesota by 1 in the 4th quarter over the Rams. And the Raiders are comfortable now in the 4th quarter over Detroit, 20-7. And Seattle winning big against Kansas City. Kansas City will be 1-1. And the Giants by only 1 in the 4th quarter over Dallas, as Dallas has tightened things up. Well, you got to hand it to the Cardinals about their determination. They were behind 28-0 at the half, and they have blanked San Diego in this entire 2nd half.
I mentioned Bill Parcells earlier in the broadcast because he's a friend of mine. He coached in New England. I knew him, and when he coached there pretty well, and he told me the one thing he has seen about St. Louis and watching tapes of their preseason games and so far is the great intensity they're playing with this year. He says they are playing really tough. They're playing hard. They're playing like this guy. He's a tough guy, Gene Stallings. And that's the one thing they have shown here today. Even though they might have caved in when it was 28-0, they didn't. They come back out, and it's really hot, and they've hung in there, and they have taken it to the Chargers in the 2nd half. They really have.
And they have a game at home against Indianapolis next week, and San Diego has a home game against Seattle. Pretty day out here and a hard-fought football game. Wolfley is in the Cardinal backfield on 1st down at the 28. Novacek is to the left along with Green.
I think Lomax just checked off, Jack.
Long snap count.
Yeah, he didn't like what he saw.
The all-out blitz, and Lee Williams got to him. Boy, they were coming. And a big sack.
He didn't like what he saw. And I think he was almost thinking of letting the clock run down and taking the penalty in that situation rather than have the play go off. You could see him hesitating.
That is the 4th sack of the day of the Cardinal quarterback. Puts the ball to the 41. And the receiver fell down, and it bounced into his arms, incomplete. Roy Green slipped and fell on this turf. He had broken free down there. Now he comes up limping a little bit with 2:26 remaining. And 2nd down coming up. Green might have pulled a hamstring the way he's moving around. Lomax has thrown 51 times. His next toss equals the club record. The ball's at the 41 and it's 3rd down and 22. Holmes is the other wide receiver with Green out. 4-man rush for the Chargers, and it is a big 3rd down play and a 1st down caught by Holmes. He got in between them. This one isn't over yet. Clock running. We're down to 2:10. Hurry up offense for the Cardinals. Vincey Glenn was covering along with Bayless, the other safety man. And now the clock is stopped at 2:12 due to an injured player.
I think it's Holmes.
Holmes, who just caught the ball, is shaken up. Well, there, the big play was 3rd and 22, and quite a throw by Lomax.
Oh, great throw. Jack, I'll tell you, he's thrown the ball well today whenever he's had the opportunity. And he's had the blocking here in the second half. He's performed. I think he's something like about 17 for 22 or 23 in the second half. And you know, that kind of performance when you're down 28-0 is really something. That means you're tough, you're tenacious, you hang in there. And his receiver Holmes dropped a couple of easy balls earlier on in the game, and he makes a great catch under pressure in traffic.
Now Troy Johnson goes to the left with J.T. Smith to the right. And a timeout is called apparently by the Cardinals. They have 1 left.
It's real. I know it's real. No other reason for the way I feel.
Even though you faithfully pay your premiums, why do some insurance companies make you feel so guilty?
I had an accident.
Do you have an estimate? 2 estimates? 3 estimates?
And a note from your mother.
My mother?
Leave it to the good hands, people.
In most cases, Allstate will give you a settlement on the spot without 3 estimates or a note from your mother.
How do we know it's her writing?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network. The advanced new Chevy half-ton is all new. Ford isn't, and the advantages stack up. Chevy gives you new 2-tier loading. Ford doesn't. More 2-sided galvanized steel, a bigger, heavier frame, and on top of it all, more standard power with Vortec V6. Want a load of new features? Test drive the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade.
The heartbeat of America.
The advanced new full-size Chevy.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Roy Green has been treated by John Omohundro, the trainer, along the sideline. He might get back in. That was not a charge timeout. The 2-minute warning. Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. 1st down at the 17-yard line. Troy Johnson is the wide receiver to the left. And the Cardinals trail by 11. Lomax out of the shotgun. Straight 4-man rush, and the pass is deep for Johnson and incomplete. There was tight coverage on him by Danny Walters, who wouldn't let him come back into the field of play.
Great coverage. Great coverage. That's the type of a pat you throw near the goal line. It's sort of just a variation of the alley-oop, Jack. You know, it's just a sideline and up. But you had the mismatch the other way. You had the veteran for the Chargers in the coverage, and the kid for St. Louis going out there trying to catch the ball.
52 attempts by Lomax. That equals the team record. 2nd and 10. J.T. Smith and Troy Johnson are the wide receivers. He might go to his tight end Novacek, who's on a wing. And in the pass pattern now. Pretty good protection, and the pass is caught by Mitchell, and he is into the end zone. So with 1:48 remaining, a 17-yard touchdown pass to Stump Mitchell for the touchdown. And that makes the score 28-23. With 1:48 remaining in the game.
That kid's got everything to cheer about right there. If he didn't have the drop balls, he'd have his personal high in his career right here, because right now he's out around 435 to 440 yards. I think his best ever is 461, and he's had 4 drops that would easily get him past that mark.
Now Gallery can put them within 4, but the Cardinals would still need a touchdown to win the game, and they've of course got to get the ball back. 28-23, 28-24 as the kick is good. Well, San Diego led 28-0, and now they lead by 4 with 1:48 left. Chargers have 3 timeouts. Cardinals have 2 timeouts, and you know what's coming up now, don't you? Not necessarily the onside kick, because the Cardinals still have the 2 timeouts. They may kick it deep, and Gallery is capable of kicking it out of the end zone. And the Cardinals could employ their timeouts and try to get the ball back. 7 plays, 80 yards, 1 minute and 53 seconds. Touchdown pass to Mitchell. Now Dallas in the 4th quarter has taken the lead at the Giants 16-14. And when we're through here, we're going to that game. So you folks will see 2 bristling finishes here this afternoon. Are you enjoying it up here in the booth, Will McDonough?
I like it so far, particularly the pace of this game and what's happening here at the finish. We thought we'd have this throughout the whole game. You know, we're ready to say here's a slaughter, and all of a sudden St. Louis has this ability to get back into the game. They showed it last week against Dallas. They look like they're gone. Here they come back again, and I think that's going to be the trademark of this team.
Because of that man at whom you're looking right now.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He insists from a lot from his players. There's Saunders. He's saying, please just hold on to the ball. No fumbles on this onside kick. But like you say, Jack, they could go deep because Gallery can take it deep.
Let's check the formation as they guard against the onside kick here. The deepest man is Gary Anderson. You know, if Anderson doesn't get to that ball, it might be rolling around free and be like a live grenade.
He's going deep.
He is going deep, and Anderson lets it go over his head. Now he better cover that one. Now a loose ball, and the tackle at about the 5-yard line. And the Cardinals have 2 timeouts remaining. Boy, that was dumb by Anderson not to catch that ball.
Well, I don't know why in the first place they weren't playing deep. I mean, if you're going to have a chance to kick it deep, at least you have Anderson and James playing on the goal line, so then they can come up and make the play. Now that was a short kick, but they played way up like they're part of the front. Kicks it over his head.
They watch it again. Anderson had the ball bounce away from him. Now the Cardinals need the ball, and San Diego needs a first down. The ball is at their 6-yard line. And Fouts stays on the ground, and the Cardinals stuffed that one with Lonnie Young and others, and they called timeout. 1:39 left in the game. Curtis Greer rushed up to the official. Any player on the field can call timeout to any of the officials on the field.
You know, Jack, I know they were the Cardiac Kids a few years ago. I'm going to tell you right now, this would be one of the best comebacks ever in pro football. I think the furthest a team has ever been behind was San Francisco. Was behind once 35-0. And this happened in about 1978 or 79 in San Francisco to New Orleans. And they come back and won the game.
Not only did the Cardinals come back and scored 24, but they've held San Diego scoreless here in the second half.
That's right.
So we've seen 2 different games.
That's right. And another thing that St. Louis has done is San Diego coming into this game all through preseason and through the first half. San Diego's first defense had only allowed 1 touchdown. Now that's a heck of a record.
There's Wayne Sevier. He's the special teams coach talking with Al Saunders. He's a former Cardinal coach. I'll bet that Fouts throws the ball right here. I'll bet you a nickel. The ball is at the 8, and it's 2nd and 8. 1:39 remaining. San Diego desperately needs a first down. Cardinals trying to stop them. There's the pass, and it's batted down. Batted down. Curtis Greer apparently got a hand on it, or E.J. Jr., and it's 3rd down. And that only took 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to throw a little hitch out here to James, let him catch it and try to run up the field. Greer did a marvelous job. You know, Greer's playing with bad knees. The offensive tackle come off and took a shot at his knee, so he couldn't pass rush. He just took a step back, slid off the block, got his hands up, and knocked the ball away.
Now will he throw it again or run the ball and cause the Cardinals to use their last time out? 3rd down and 8. Here's a toss, and Anderson is stuffed, and the clock continues to run. The crowd doesn't like the play selection. Cedric Mack was first up there, and 1:27 left on the clock, and now they'll crank it. Now the Cardinals use their last timeout, so they'll get the ball back with about a minute and 20-something remaining. And there was a gain of 2 yards. And now the punt will be forthcoming, and there's always a chance, of course, of blocking a punt and winning the game.
Well, I'd go for it right here, Jack. You know why? Because you get the pressure on him, and you know, chances are he's going to try to get rid of it quickly. But how about this?
Here's Jim Sillman, our producer here today, and our director Richard Drake showing you good pictures from San Diego.
Why wouldn't you take a safety here?
That's right. That would make them then get the free kick.
Get the free kick. Try to kick him way up the field.
A safety would only put them 2 points down, and a field goal could.
You could get him with a field goal, but you'd back him up a lot further.
But it's an interesting thought. Let's see if San Diego wants to take a safety and make it 28-26, get the free kick.
I mean, you get.
But then a field goal would beat him.
You got a Pro Bowler out there who's the best punt returner in the game, according to the players in the NFC, with Sikahama.
Well, here we go. Moshenko is in his end zone. He needs a good snap from center. He gets it. He kicks it. It's not a very good one. And the bounce to Sikahama. He's down to the 45. He's to the 40, to the 35. He's down near the 32-yard line. A 41-yard punt, a 20-yard return. Daniel Hunter made the tackle, but the Cardinals need a touchdown. They trail by 4.
What an incredible finish. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is fantastic. These guys are down 28-0. It's hot out here. They could have cashed it in a long time ago. They're doing everything wrong. They can't even snap the ball from center. All of a sudden, they got themselves in a position to win the game. And really, they've been patient about it, Jack. They haven't done anything crazy. They just took their time. Now they're in it with a great shot to win it.
Roy Green is back in. No timeouts left for the Cardinals. They trail by 4. And Lomax airs it out along the sideline to Green. He can't get there. And the ball's out of bounds.
Hamstring. Look at him limping.
Green is out of business. They'll have to replace him. 60 Minutes will come up here on CBS following football today. It is the season's premiere. And there is a bad situation for the Cardinals in the final 109 to have Roy Green out of action.
He was on the bench after the last series with a hamstring. Watch him pull right about here. See him? He stops looking at the ball. He almost goes down. He'll pull up here, and there he goes. The hamstring's gone again. This happens to ball players a lot on a hot day when they've had to do a lot of running. He's been out there. They've thrown 50-something passes.
You can see his left leg is already wrapped. The ball's at the 32, and it's 2nd down and 10, and Troy Johnson comes in to replace it. We'll be watching that game, and Dallas leads by 2 over the Giants, and we're going to join that game when this one is over.
The tough part of that last play, Jack, is they look to Green all the way. He's their big guy. He can make the play, but on the other side of the field, J.T. Smith was one-on-one with Bird, and he had him beat. But you can't blame Lomax because it looked as though the play called was all on the side of field.
They're going to put some more time back on the clock rather than the 109. They're going to put 1:15. I don't know the reason for that, but that was the announcement from Jim Tunney.
No, I think they're going to run it off the other way.
Well, they're changing the clock. We'll see how it ends up.
Yeah, they're going to put it back up over 1 minute. They're going to give the Cardinals more time.
So it's a breather and a chance for the offense to talk it over rather than rush as they try to get the winning touchdown. They're going to put it up to minute 8.
This is obviously where the clock should have been with the incompletion. But you know, maybe the time is a friend of the Chargers and say, hey, we'll keep it running. We got to give these guys all the help they can get.
So Troy Johnson comes to the right. J.T. Smith is to the left. Novacek is on a wing. San Diego shows the blitz. The blitz is on. Lomax steps up and hits his man. Novacek is down near the 20-yard line. Plenty of time. A minute left. Clock running. And the line of scrimmage is marked at the 22-yard line. A first down. Lomax throws it off short again to the 20. And the player is down inside the 10. Down to the 5. The Cardinals will have a chance. 1st and goal. They still have plenty of time. 35 seconds left in the half. That was Earl Farrell who caught that one. Now Lomax wants to score or ground the ball, which he does. Stops the clock with 28 seconds, so the Cardinals will have 3 shots at the winning score against the Chargers with 28 seconds remaining. And a pass play ordinarily takes about 7 or 8 seconds. They'll be able to run all 3 plays, and if they click Will McDonough, they win.
That's right. Now, I think, Jack, maybe we should go back over to the fans about how he can spike the ball. As you explained it earlier, maybe somebody wasn't looking in the first half, wasn't watching the game. You can do that this year, and it is not intentionally grounding. You can do it to stop the clock, and Lomax has just done it.
2nd and goal. The blitz again, and it's incomplete. So the Chargers have to blitz, and that's going to be 3rd down. And 25 seconds left. So the Cardinals are down to their last 2 plays. They have no timeouts remaining. They trail by 4. There's Al Saunders wondering if he's going to take his 2nd loss in 2 weeks.
You know, it might be appropriate here if Lomax is back to pass. You know he's not mobile. He gets chased out and he runs it in. That would be the right fit. I know it. I mean, and I think he might get the opening to do it.
Smith is to the right. Green is back in the lineup. Maybe only a decoy. He's in motion. Here's a pass play into the end zone to Smith. Incomplete. One more play coming the Cardinals' way. Covering was Gil Bird as J.T. Smith tried to out-jump him. 20 seconds left in the game. And it's 4th and goal. Boy, those missed field goals earlier by the Cardinals, 30 yards and 42 yards.
Lomax just lays it out there. Smith does a great job of trying to put his body between the ball and the defender. He gets his hands on it, but there's good coverage by Bird. He was up there making physical contact.
Here's the last play for the Cardinals, unless we have a penalty. It's win or lose here. They got to get into the end zone. Ruther, the center, a good snap. Lomax throws, and it's dropped by Earl Farrell. It would have been a touchdown. It was thrown behind him just a bit. And it goes over to San Diego with 16 seconds left.
And Gene
Farrell tried to come back. He got a hand on it and dropped it.
And when he dropped the ball, Gene Stallings dropped right on his knees at the 50-yard line. And I don't blame him. What an effort. I feel so bad for Farrell. He just makes a big play over there to get him in contention. The ball is right in his hands, and he just simply
was underthrown just a little.
I don't think so, Jack. You've got to catch that ball. You've got to catch it. It's right there. The game's on the line. They ran a pick. The same play they ran on 1st down. This time it was there, and he had to catch the ball.
So Farrell dropped it on the 2. He would have fallen into the end zone. This will be the last snap of the game. And San Diego will have won it 28-24. Each team will be 1-1, but what an effort by the Cardinal football team.
Have you ever seen it? How many times have you seen this in your career where the winning team, the home team, is getting booed by its own fans? And they just won.
Winning coach Al Saunders. Losing coach Gene Stallings. Final score 28-24. What'd you think of that one, Brent Musburger?
I'll tell you, Jack Buck, that was one of the most phenomenal innings I've ever seen. I feel so badly for Farrell. He had that ball going in. As Will pointed out, he should have hung on, and the Cardinals would have staged another miracle in 2 weeks here, 28-24, but they allowed the Chargers to get ahead of them 28-0, and then it was so tough digging back. Meanwhile, the Super Bowl champions, the New York Giants, are under pressure. They could fall to 0-2. And remember, if this is going to be a strike-shortened season, this could be devastating to the Giants. The Cowboys have played very well. Let's go to Pat Summerall. Pat?
And that will do it. The Cowboys 16. Even their record at 1-1, 16-14 over the Giants, and the defending champions dropped to 0-2.
Today, thousands of men share a common desire to be more fit, but many of them also share a common problem. Sensitive skin irritated by shaving. That's why there's AFTA, the rich, good-smelling lotion, clinically proven to soothe razor-scraped sensitive skin so it looks and feels more fit. Use AFTA before you run off to face the world. Sensible care for sensitive skin. AFTA Aftershave Skin Conditioner.
I'm Menon.
practice till it can't get any smoother. That's what it takes to be the best in your class. But when you finally got it all together, when your heart and your hands won everybody over, there's nothing sweeter. Wild Irish Rose knows that feeling. We've been the best in our class for over 30 years.
Pick the winner, pick the rose, pick the one everybody knows.
Don't forget, 60 Minutes coming up next. For John Madden, this is Pat Summerall saying so long. From Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the final score was Dallas 16, the Giants 14. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
United can show you the old Hawaii where time takes a rest. And you can become yourself again. So come become Hawaii with the airline that's been her friend for nearly 40 years. United.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
What happened when this priest announced he was in love and going to get married?
They stood and applauded spontaneously.
60 Minutes premieres a new season tonight on CBS.
This is CBS.